Well, I told everybody you got to really pay attention to the updates. If you have horses in Ohio right now, this is a video you should be watching. How's my horses doing? What are they up to? How much have they been? Well, when will they be ready? These are all questions I get all the time from our Ohio owners, and I can't always answer them. When I talk to Lauren on the phone or talk to Jason and get third-party information saying, hey, horse trained in 210 or 212, but how did the horse train? Right? I know that we had 3 or 4 horses that were ready to start getting closer to qualifying. But how do they feel? You know, when I go out and go a mile in 2.3 to 2.5 or even a little faster with a horse, you can tell this horse is going to need a couple more weeks, or wow, this horse is ready to go. One horse in particular wowed me today. 2 other ones looked good, and the rest of them were all training 1.5 miles, just starting their ascent down towards their 2022 racing season. So I went with a ton today. I was in a ton of sets. We had sets of 3. Daryl and I and Angus went with the horses today. So I got to look at everybody. So I'm going to give you a little rundown, I took a picture of the board before I left. A little rundown of how the horses are. Yes, of course, he's out in the field for another 3 weeks or so. Put some weight on the big boy, bring him back in. Had a great run the last 4 or 5 months for us. And really, to be quite honest, I think we just put him away a little tired. But his gait was great, 100% sound, never trotting better than he is right now. So very happy and excited to get him back in the next 2-3 weeks. Really, I say 2-3 weeks, but it's really 50 pounds, right? 50 to 100 pounds I would like to put on this horse. Wayne has been great at putting the weight on them. So I tasked him with, listen, can you put 50 to 100 pounds on this horse in 3 to 4 weeks? He said, we'll do what we can. And I just told him, let me know when he's starting to look a little plumper. Needs a little rest, a little R&R for the big colt. We all need that from time to time, and he deserved it. So yes, he's at the field for a bit. Tour de Lindy, I've told you guys again and again and again how much I liked this horse. Right? Yes, he bled last night. And hopefully, if we have, after the race, I spoke to Jason and Lauren. This morning, I talked to the veterinarian, and we formulated a plan to put him on a much, much, much more structured regimen of training. His training from day to day will be much, much more focused and structured. So I think that's the key for this guy. We're probably going to give him a week off. I left it up to the vet. I said, probably should give him a week, right? Especially in this weather. He said yes. So I told a couple of our clients last night he'd be in next week, but I think that's a little unfair. We're going to give him a week off and have him ready to go in 2 weeks. So that's the plan with our boy Tour de Lindy. Slim Jimmy trained great today. I've talked to Tim a little bit about, now this is Tim Deaton, this is Lauren's boyfriend. I talked to Tim a little bit briefly about how he trained last week and this week. He was very happy with him, said he just feels like a machine. That's how he always feels, right? Our whole goal will be to get Slim Jimmy from the field to the winner's circle unscathed this year when he starts out. Last year at the end of the year, a little tired. He did bleed a little bit, was running in quite a bit. Really just out of sorts when we went to race him in the final, and it was pretty obvious. The horse didn't look good at all the week leading up to, and then again in the final. Hopefully we can get him in a position where, 1, we can manage him, and 2, he starts back 100% sound. From what I can see from Slim Jimmy, he looks very, very, very good. Now, so a great question. The other 2, what their timelines are. Slim Jimmy, no rush in his timeline. I made it as clear as I could to everybody. I don't really have anybody pegged for the stake race coming up in March in Dayton or Miami Valley. The Scarlet and Gray is the one afterwards. Yes, we'll probably get an invite, I would think, with Purple Aura. So even my goal would be to get her into that race as her first race. Maybe one prep race before, but not necessarily. Same with the Sweet on Pete. Those horses, are we going to have them ready for March? Maybe. If everything goes well, and they train down great without any sickness, without any soreness, without any hiccups or hurdles, then yeah, they could be. But that's not our focus. Our focus is the latter part of 2022, April and beyond, when the stake races start up. If they're ready a little bit early, great. If they're not, that's fine too. And that's really where I stand on Slim Jimmy, Sweet on Pete, Purple Aura, a lot of those horses that we're bringing back. Walk on the Moon looks great. He came in good, but I think they've even put weight on him since he came in. He's looked great. I saw Daryl trained him today. He looked very good. This is a horse I got pretty high hopes for in 2022. A horse that kind of flew under the radar. We opted to keep him out of the Harrisburg sale. I just thought there was a lot more there for us in 2022. We'll see. It'll be up to him, but he looks great and looked very good this morning. Jekyll and Hyde races tonight. That's right. We got some pulp. You're right. Ava's got a little pulp also. Oliver opted out of the pulp request today. No big deal. Jekyll and Hyde is racing tonight. Good looking horse. I'll be completely honest with everybody. I've never sat behind Jekyll and Hyde. Very happy with the way he raced his first start, and happy how he looks in the barn. Looks like a happy bugger. First time I come over, he looked kind of ratty and woolly and sour little bugger in his stall, but had his ears up today and his head out. I was really happy with what I saw from him. Definite change in his demeanor. So let's see how that plays a role in his racing moving forward. My Jazzy always looks good. You know, we're really going back and forth. I told you guys, if you watched the video yesterday, you know, my personal pick right now, if you were going to press me and make me make a decision today, it would be International Money that we breed My Jazz to. And, you know, I'd said to Lauren after, he said, well, you know, Compass Rose DC sound is $1, My Jazz is sound, why are we breeding them? It's simple. Compass Rose DC is a little different. Yes, she can bounce around that middle condition classes, but what are you going to make in there? You're going to break even and win a couple of races, or are you going to breed her and hope for a home run with a foal? If you'd asked me a year or two ago, I would have said, no, just option A, race them. My mind's changed a little bit now. You know, when I see what goes on and how it goes on, I think we got a really nice filly. We get an opportunity, or mare. We get an opportunity to put her away, sound, sharp. I'd love to win a race or two with her before we stop with her. But I would rather breed her and see what we got. She was a good filly that made, 130, 140, but probably left close to 50 or 60 on the table from time to time. So, you know, we could have had a real good run with Compass Rose DC. Instead, we just had a pretty good run with Compass Rose DC. But again, I like her, and when I look at her, the first horse that came to mind, just looking at the ones we're training down now, and again, we're getting to the breeding side of things so late in the game because I wanted to see how our first crop sires are training down. Enterprise, they look good, real good. So we'll probably go to Enterprise with Compass Rose DC. I'm a Lovely Lady. I sent you guys a couple of quick little snippets of the training mile I saw from her. Now I do have, Lauren took a video of Granite Hill finishing up his mile. We'll get to him in a minute. I'll get that video from her and put it up for you guys. But the only one I personally got was I'm a Lovely Lady because I was in or on most of the other horses. I'm a Lovely Lady finished up good, 1.5 miles, first training trip back towards races. Should be ready in a few weeks. Confederate Cruiser trained well this morning. Daryl, I believe, went with Confederate Cruiser. There was 0 complaints from anybody that went with any horses today. That is a rarity. We probably trained 20 horses today. Not a complaint out of the entire barn. So Confederate Cruiser was good. My first trip in the race bike today was Granite Hill. And no, he wasn't my first. He was my last. He went very, very good. 2-3 last half in a minute, but did it right. You know, that rickety, uncomfortable way, it's gone. Now he just looks like a big, growthy colt. I thought he was a little on the right line a bit more in the last turn than the first 3. I had the blacksmith check his feet with the hoof testers, and he said, yeah, his feet are sore. We're going to put razor pads on him up front. But overall, I was super pleased with Granite Hill. Again, everybody's expectations were super low. So didn't really know what to think of what Granite Hill would do. Yes, I put him in the sale, and yes, I suspect over the next 3 weeks he's going to put together a pretty good. What's wrong, Minnie? That's just a rest area. Yeah. So Granite Hill, very happy with him. Definitely the best he's ever trained in his life. Very good. Now I would be gushing more, but there's a horse I want to talk about in a minute that actually did surprise me. Granite Hill, I wasn't shocked. As soon as I went out on the track and started to jog him around, I knew this was a different horse. I knew, he just felt more confident, more comfortable. And when we trained him, he just did his work better. So very happy with Granite Hill. Hill of Magic, I talked to the vet. We're going to re-x-ray tomorrow morning. but she's walking sound. She's not jogging yet, she's still swimming, but she's walking sound on the track, walking sound in the burn area and back over to the burn, back over to the pool. So that's a good sign. They're always a little tricky, these coffin bones. When Wildo in Hanover and the other colt, No Free Lunch, had fractured theirs. It was smaller. It was a little more manageable. It was easy to watch them get better and better and better. This filly here, she was really sore at the start when she broke it, as you can imagine, and got a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. Then we only had flip-flops on her to start her swimming, and she really wasn't that good on them. Once we put the burr shoes on her, she got better and better and better. So I'm told, I didn't see her walking the burn tape, but they said they've been walking her a little bit. And then obviously she's keeping her cardio up, getting her cardio up swimming. So if by chance we get a green light from the veterinarian tomorrow, there'll be, I don't know what he'll say tomorrow. But when I spoke to him last about that foot, he said, yeah, it's coming. It's going to take a little more time. So she is entered in the sale also, but we'll see what tomorrow's x-rays look like for Hill of Magic. But green lights across the board right now. Walking sound, looking comfortable, swimming lots. Very happy with her. Kathy with an eye. I guess I can't. The cat's got to come out of the bag here. I trained Matt's MVP in 2-1-1. Last half in 58 and a piece. Last quarter in 29 seconds. Wrapped up under wraps. I trotted away from Kathy with an eye, but she didn't really want any more, right? And there wasn't. We've only been in 2-8, so there was a little bit of a jump there. The expectations going into that training mile were low for both those horses. One, how's Kathy going to hold up? Her breathing, her lungs. Two, how's Matt's attitude? Right? Don't really know. Matt's attitude, couldn't ask him to have a better attitude than he had today. He looked amazing today. I get up over to the quarter in 30 and a piece, and I backed him up pretty good. Half and 3, 131 and 4, 132. And I knew I was trotting away from Kathy, so I just kind of wrapped him up coming down the lane. 2-1-1, a big mile for that colt, but he did it so good. On the right line a little bit running in, but no hobbles, no nothing. Closed bridle, head pull on the left, trotting boots behind. That's it. No bell boots, no weight, no nothing. So a very, very good mile from that horse this morning. They're running in a little bit. The vet looked him over, thought his hock maybe was a little pinchy. We're just going to put a little blister on his knees, hocks and stifles. I don't want to go injecting just yet on Matt's MVP. So that's what we're going to do with him. He was awesome. Kathy with an eye, finished up good behind him now. Both Matt and Kathy had some roughness on their palate. Had flipped a couple of times. So we had Baycocks, both of those horses today. They were given some throat spray for them, and also told just to tie his tongue out. Kathy kind of ducks her head a little bit, always did. Maybe a choke plate, little birch bit on her, and tie her tongue out a little bit. But honestly, 2-3 last half and 1-1 for Kathy with an eye. Big mile for that filly. More importantly, no blood, no stress in her throat area, no redness, minimal pimples, but there was some roughness on the palate area. So she had been a couple of times, she had flipped in the past. I told them, very important when you train her, keep a hood on her, choke plate on her, and put a birch bit in her mouth. I think she'll be fine. We'll be able to treat that, no problem, which we'll talk about in a minute with another horse. So Kathy with an eye, I would say we have 3 weeks before the sale. That's lots of time for her to prove to me what she is. And I think at least give me a good glimpse. Give me a glimpse of what you got. And I think that's more than enough time for her to show me. Ty went on, trained great today. I'm told Timmy went with her, said she was very good. Of Tom, trained good, just as you would expect she did. She's starting to put weight on. She tucked up a little bit when she came in, and maybe she gets sick or something. But she's starting to put weight on and look real, real good now. Blue Bayou Deal in the back of the trailer. She jogged today. I didn't want to train her. She jogged today. She's in the back of the trailer heading back to Ontario right now. Purple Aura sat behind me with Sweet on Pete. They finished up together. Mile and a half last half in 1:11. So it would have been a half in 28. Let me see if I got this right. 28, 16, 11 is what they came. A great mile for both those fillies. They looked very, very good doing it. 1-2 Skip a Few was very good in her training mile today. You're going to have to wait a little bit, honey. You're going to have to wait until we get gas, okay? How old are you? 10? Bathroom? You're supposed to tell me when we leave Northfield Park. You're going to have to wait till we get to... You even let me go by a gas station right there?
I was pointing at it.
Well, you're going to have to wait a minute. That's the way life is. 1-2 Skip a Few was good today. Still a little rickety. I just had an open happy bridle on her today and trained her. She was all business, all again. She's such a tough filly. I had the blacksmith look at her feet after. Inside corner of her right front foot had a little bruise in it. So I had asked Amy, the blacksmith, or the caretaker over here, Amy, to specifically work on her soles of her feet, and more particularly the inside corner of her right front foot. But she was very, very good today. Matt's MVP, as I said, by far today's #1 star. He looked very, very, just a real breath of fresh air. I didn't know what to think when I come over here, how they were going to train. He was very good. Sweet on Pete, as I said, her and Purple Aura were awesome this morning. Twin Bee Habanero, still a little bumpy as he was before. I just told him, I want you to buy a bottle of cedar oil and blister his knees, hocks, and stifles. 2 days on, 4 days off, rinse and repeat, and keep putting the slow miles into him until he comes around. And he will. But Twin Bee Habanero today went 1.5 miles. He trained with 1-2 Skip a Few and Procrastinator, and they all three of them trained pretty good. Compass Rose DC raced good last night, finished second and 58 on a viciously cold night. She was very good. Mama Knows Best trained good this morning. She's on her way back again with Walk on the Moon and I'm a Lovely Lady. Both of them are. What happened here? Garden State Dio trained this morning, trained good. She's in the back of the trailer heading back to Ontario with us right now. Now we have 3 new horses: Del Cash, Del Breeze, and Ruby's Gemstone or something. That thing struck me right in the head yesterday. Gemstone Ruby Rose. Well, he's catching on. She got a little dirty streak in her old Gemstone and hooked me right in the head last night. Caught my head. Just very green horses, but at the same time, the Gemstone filly, I think her vision is less than par. And I notice anytime you have horses with vision problems, they got a little streak in them, right? They're hard to get their confidence, and they're very standoffish. And if you try and push them around, some of them will fight back, and I think that's what happened with me. I think I just went to shove her over, and she didn't like it. And I got a right hook. Got to pay attention when you're burned. So those 3 horses, we'll talk about them more in the future, where they came from, why they're here. They are going to be offered up, shares offered up. One is an Indiana bred. The other 2 are Ohio breds, or we like to clean them up and get them working. I think I'm going to bring them home to Ontario next week and get working with them a little closer. So that was Del Cash. The Del Cash and Del Breeze just jogged today. They're both pacers. The other horse, the Gemstone filly, jogged also. That's a trotting 3-year-old for Ontario, or for Ohio, sorry. Amor Diener, 3rd one in the trailer back there. He trained good today. He's in the back of the trailer with me, heading back to Ontario. So if you own any shares of Blue Bayou Deal, Garden State Deal, or Amor Diener, they're going to be at Tomiko Training Center tonight around 8 o'clock. Procrastinator, as I said, trained good today. Sat behind me, very good. Daryl said on the right line a little more. Now, we had flip-flops on him all last year. I asked the blacksmith just to put razor pads on him today. Just keep moving forward with him. I was happy with him today. Bomb Hugger made a little break, but no hobbles on. And I told Angus was following me. He said, she just run in a little bit and rolled off. He said, you know, you're going to do this and that. I said, just put the hobbles back on. She's wore them her whole life. So that's all that Bomb Hugger needs. She looks good, though. Looks really good on the track. What happens is she gets out of she switches her leads coming out of the turn into the straightaway, or into the turn from the straightaway, runs in, and for sure she just brushes her shin a little bit and just startles her or throws her out of kilter, and she'll roll off stride before she had the hobbles to catch her. Today we didn't have them on her, and there was no hobbles there to catch her. She rolled off stride. It's a pretty easy explanation and an easy fix. Put the hobbles back on her. Voyage of Ice and Fire was impressive today. He's quite a ways from the races yet. I am going to have him ready to qualify by February 1st, as I said to Lauren. That's 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks of 1.5 miles every Wednesday and Saturday. We'll put him in the race bike if we have time. Jesus, it's going to be tight. I don't know if I can have him ready by then. But he looked good today. He just certainly didn't look like a horse that had to be sent to the sale, but keep in mind, he's still got a wicked bad taste in my mouth, and it's going to take a lot of good training trips to wash that away. And Voyage of Ice and Fire, good today, good for you. String some of them together and then we'll talk. Del Breeze, I said, jogged today, and then the Gemstone filly tried to take my head off last night, but that happens when you're not paying attention. You're in a burn. These are horses, not playtime. And whether you're me or anybody else, whether you're somebody visiting our burn, keep in mind, these are animals. I should know better. Everybody, I tell my kids all the time, pay attention when you're around the horses, because these are big animals. I could have got hurt yesterday. Fortunately, I didn't. And, no, I got a little caught up on it. Honey, there's no gas station there, though. I don't see a gas station there. You're going to have to hold it for a little bit. Oh, you're lucky I see one. Oh, don't know if we can make her. This guy's just going too slow. Airhead. Yeah, I know. So as I said, which way is the gas station here, honey? McDonald's. Must be by McDonald's, right? I think there'd be one by McDonald's. We'll see when we get up here. Anyway, as I said to everybody, a great day in Ohio today. A fantastic day. Even if I go in here and there's no gas stations, there's going to be a problem.
You told me you saw a gas station.
No, I thought I saw. There's one there. You're lucky. That guy's getting on the highway. Good. As I said, great day in Ohio today. Super pumped about what went on at the track. Matt's MVP was top star. Granite Hill was very, very good. Voyage was very good. Kathy was good. All the ones we expected to be good were good. There were not one negative surprise today. Now, I have another video to make. There was some horses went to Mohawk to train today. I got an update on those horses. Got a huge update on a trotting filly that we have high hopes for, that Arches Rainbow. Huge update for her. So I'm going to do another video in a minute, but this video right here is for our Ohio clients that have been waiting a long time for some updates on their Ohio horses. I hope you're all satisfied with the updates you received, but you're not getting any more. That's it for today. I will talk to you all very, very soon. Take care. Have a great day, because we did.